Souleer.
And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left, representing the juggernaut powerhouse Team Liquid. It is the Red Protoss player, MaNa.
Wow, MaNa going for that early expand. No surprises. I think Pillars of Gold's an easy map for Protoss players to expand onto that natural position. It's always the third that gets really tricky here. The third location's on Pillars of Gold, either all the way down here to the 6 o'clock, or you got to go all the way down into this death zone, up onto the high ground again, and over into the inside triangular third base. So MaNa wise, I think, to grab that early expansion, maybe right after his Cyber Core. He's still only on 1 gas, so... meanwhile, a little block on the other side, and Souleer forced to take that third base. Now, Steadfast, have you had much of a chance to see Souleer in action these last few months?
I have had the opportunity to cast him a little bit in some of the ESL Open Cups. He's taken down some pretty big names. Gerald, he has been able to take down... I'm trying to think of other Protoss players. I know the last time he ran into MaNa, it was right after he beat Gerald, and it was... The series versus Gerald was amazing, by the way. Gerald, of course, another one of those players that is really, really on the up and up, and I'm really excited to see how they progress through forward, as well as Souleer. But right after he beat Gerald, MaNa just absolutely shut him down. And, I mean, that was a few weeks ago. Souleer, you know, maybe he can have some special builds prepared, but it's going to be a little bit of a tough time for him, I think.
Yeah, should be a challenge for sure. So, pardon me. What time is it for you, Souleer? Are you at 11 o'clock as well?
It is noon for me. It's
noon. Okay, so you're further east than I am. I'm not like still waking up, but my days have definitely shifted a little bit later than I'm comfortable with. I usually wake up really early. But since this event goes from like 11 a.m. for me until about, 8 or 9 or 10 p.m., I've started waking up just before the event, so my energy peaks in the middle, and it's throwing me off. I still feel like it's like breakfast time, like I should be reading the newspaper and doing a crossword puzzle, and not in the middle of some of the most intense StarCraft in the world right now. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It certainly is. Just to speak about what's happened here in the game a little bit. So MaNa did go for that early hatch block, as pretty much in every PvZ I've seen in the last about 3 or 4 months, he has been going for that. And it opens the door. Oh, nice. He gets a drone snipe right there. Very, very nice. It opens the door for this Glaive Adepts build, this 4-gate Glaive Adepts, to be so much more powerful. And Souleer, with the smart decision of taking that third base as he saw that he was being blocked, and gets that nice early creep tumor to connect the third base back towards his main and soon-to-be natural.
Now, Steadfast, why does blocking the natural and making you wait for so long, why does that make the 4-gate Glaive Adept push that we're about to see so much more powerful?
Well, for one, as a Zerg player, you don't want to have to be transferring a bunch of drones for a while, around for a while. So you'll notice, obviously, Souleer has saturated his third base. And realistically, you could send them back to the natural, all of them, to be a little bit more on the safe side. But you'd lose so much mining time for potentially nothing if it's not a Glaive Adepts build. And of course that third base is much more exposed, so it means that popping around between the main and the third, the natural and the third, it's a lot more problematic to deal with. And plus, the creep spread from the main to the natural, from the natural to the third, gets really thrown off and delayed, and that's why we see Souleer going for not just 1 but 2 early creep tumors with that with those queens at the third base.
Very sharp analysis. I knew I kept you around for a reason, Steadfast. It's so good to have you here today. Oh, man. Well, here comes the push from MaNa, and as you said, 4 gates, Glaives, Adepts, Glaives just finishing up here. A beautiful, crisp timing from MaNa. Those Adepts shading into the natural literally the second that Glaives finishes up. Let's keep our eye on these Adepts and see. Now, Steadfast, we do see a lot of Adepts out there already sniping down a Queen, which is a great start. What does MaNa need to do to make sure this is not just good, but successful?
He needs to just keep threatening with those shades. And, ooh, I don't know about committing in here. That might have been a bit of a mistake, but a nice split will mitigate these Banelings quite effectively. However, it means that they don't they no longer have a block on the ramp, but creating chaos in multiple places at once. Most of the Adepts in the main will get taken out, but a lot of Queens have gone down so far. Already 3 Queens now. And, well, MaNa is more than able to keep the pressure up. He's going to cancel these shades at the third and pick off a good number of drones. Do you think it's enough damage so far? It's already spiraling out of control, actually.
Yeah, spiraling out of control is the correct word. MaNa is one of those players who has such good control. Yeah, well, that answers my question for me, doesn't it? A flurry of G's comes down, and MaNa grabs game number 1. You know, Steadfast...
That was, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, sometimes on the B stream here, we see some exciting games with weird strategies or crazy timings or something. That game about as textbook a win as it can possibly be with Glaive Adepts.
Yep, and it's kind of what you expect out of MaNa a little bit. Very sharp, very crisp, nice micro, and just a timing that, let's be honest, maybe 20 Zerg players in the world could deal with that without taking critical damage. Probably less. I would say a handful of Zergs in Europe, a handful of Zergs in Korea, and when it's executed like that, it's so dominant, and we saw MaNa just looking so sharp. What do you think Souleer can do in this next game to try and maybe change things up a little bit, change that outcome?
You know, one thing we didn't talk about a lot was Souleer's scouting, or lack thereof. He really did not have a bead on that it was going to be this push until too late. He had his Baneling Nest up, but traditionally, you know, you want some of those roaches out, because roaches are just a little bit more sustainable defense against that kind of a push. So I don't think he knew it was coming until it was just a little too late. So this game, I really hope Souleer throws an Overlord into the main base of MaNa, gets a better scout up this time, and maybe even takes control of the conversation and goes for a little bit more early pressure. But we'll have to see what happens here on another very familiar map. Ooh, excuse me. Very early morning again for me, Steadfast. On another very familiar map, Eternal Empire, LE. Let's hop into the action. And in the bottom left-hand side, in the blue, it's our Spanish Zerg player. His name is Souleer.
Yes, it is. And we have once again going for that early hatch block that has become a trademark of his play. Currently up 1-0 in the series. The Team Liquid Micro Master. It is MaNa.
Micro Master. That sounds like a dope name for like a DJ from the 1990s. Like a very early... like when rap was in his infancy. That sounds like...
Oh, yeah.
A Micro Master. One of my friends introduced me to a song called... oh, God, I'm going to forget it now. But one of the main guys was a DJ named Mr. B. And the whole song was in, like, in French and Spanish. And then every now and then, this guy would just, like, yell over the top of it, like, I'm Mr. B, in the stupid, like, 1990s rapping that we all love. Oh, it was so... Oh, Paris Latino was the song. It was so good. If you want like some really bad disco music with a funky beat, go check it out, because I smiled the entire time that song was playing. It was great, man. Hatch gas pool out for Souleer. Obviously, as you said, not the hatch that he wanted, but the hatch that he deserves. He's got the hatch gas pool going down now, and we'll see when he pulls those drones off gas. Last game, he got up to that 100 gas and cut gas immediately. Looks like he's doing the same thing again. No tech really going to come out from Souleer early this game.
Yeah, no, not so much. I mean, it is very interesting that he does elect to take all 3 drones off of gas. Most Zerg players will leave 1 on gas and just slowly mine it for a little bit. And, I mean, realistically, it's kind of a stylistic choice. As long as you're super sharp with the timing of resaturating it, it is theoretically a little bit more efficient. Souleer trying to sneak around here with these lings, but MaNa, he tags the watchtower, but not for enough time. Now, there is a chrono boost on the Stalker, so it should pop out in time. Oh, it's going to be very close. Actually, these lings, they're just going to slip through.
Oh, great timing from Souleer. Now he's got it. Yeah, I was going to say, he can't waste time trying to pick down that pylon. He has got to go, but he does, in fact, make it into the main base. Going to spot that Stargate opener from MaNa. Good scout or great scout, Steadfast?
Excellent scout, and, well, there's an important thing happening right now. Souleer's going for that very popular 19-drone Zergling all-in, and MaNa... he is going Stargate. He's got an Oracle already on the way. This Stalker is in the wall, but it is going to start to get target fire down, and the Adept is stuck on the other side of the map. Cybernetics core will get taken out. Nice recall to save this Stalker. Oh man, MaNa actually switches to a Void Ray. That is a very interesting response.
He's going to lose Warp Prism or Warp Gate Research as well. Look at that. Just missing Warp Gate Research, denied in the last 20 seconds of its build. This Ling push doing so well so far, denying this tech. There's no Cyber Core on the way, but as you said, the Void Ray on its way out now. But MaNa is on the clock. Souleer all in here.
Yes, Souleer is continuing to commit to this. No cancel on that gateway, very costly, but there is a shield battery up now. And that Adept actually popped into a perfect spot where it cannot be hit right now. And MaNa, he is looking really good right now. There is going to be a hole in the wall very shortly, just plugs it up. Beautiful play for MaNa. Another hole is going to get plugged up by that pylon overcharge, and MaNa is dealing with this very effectively.
That's important.
Always got to heal up that battery or that pylon once again.
This is unbelievable. MaNa doing an incredible job building this wall on the fly, but remember, shield battery overcharge cannot target, or shield batteries in general, cannot target buildings that are under construction. So finally, after about 45 seconds of trying, those Lings will sneak into the natural base, pick off 7 probes, and make their way up into the main. This is looking a little rough for MaNa.
That it is. He is in a lot of trouble right now. Now, the second Void Ray did pop out, and that is going to help a lot. They don't kill Lings as fast as Oracles do. Ooh, nice little concave with these probes. Souleer, a little bit of a mistake. I think he should have gone straight into the main with every single Ling. Fighting that wall is not the way to play this out, but he has already done so much damage. In fact, MaNa's down to 9 probes right now, and there we go, that main being breached. I think this game's over. Yeah, I think like 5 probes, there's no way to come back. Man. Now, Souleer is continuing to commit. And MaNa has re-fortified the wall, but he's going to lose even a couple more probes. And at this point, each probe is, well, it's a significant percentage of his economy.
What is he doing with those probes? Oh my gosh, he sent the probes over to like the 3rd base for some reason, trying to get him out of there. Loses an additional one, and now Team Liquid's MaNa, after all of that, we pull up the units lost tab. 94 drones have been sacrificed in support of the swarm, but 31 probes have gone down. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal damage. I will say it was a pretty nice micro move to send those probes over towards the 3rd base, as he did manage to avoid 1 or 2 more of them going down from the Lings that were still inside the base. Now, he lost, I think, 1. It ended up being maybe a wash or possibly only like a net 1 probe game, because there was more Lings coming across the map. But if there hadn't been, you know, maybe he saves 2 or 3 more probes, and that's percentage-wise about 12% of his economy. But he is in so much trouble right now.
Yeah, now my question is, Souleer is still staying on Lings. He's working on more drones, getting his economy going, but man, he does not have a lot right now that would fight against Void Rays. Just 4 queens, 3 of whom are...
they are derping out.
What on earth was that? That's exactly what they're doing.
God.
Queen's way off creep, way out of position. There's no Spore in the main right now. First one just going down, but the Void Rays are here, baby, and they're going to push these drones away. Souleer has got to get some more Spores down right away.
Yeah, already 4 drones going down. I think MaNa actually made a bit of a mistake right there, not targeting down the Spore with that overcharge. Oh, this Queen will not get transfused. Oh, Souleer missing a big opportunity there, and that is... well, that's a lot of his anti-air right now, and now these Void Rays can pop back over to the 3rd base, and they are picking off quite a few drones. Now, Souleer, he is pumping out so many drones himself, but MaNa doing an excellent job trying to recover in this game. There are 2 queens with high energy coming back into the main base. Oh, and MaNa, ooh, he might actually lose one of these Void Rays. No, he's going to get to the safety of the corner.
Oh, barely sneaks out. Very well done. But 9 drones on the back. Unfortunately, guys, 9 drones is not as many as 32. I'm not like a big math guy, Steadfast, but I feel like that's pretty apparent. And now that there are 3 Void Rays here, are they going to be able to do enough damage to maybe turn this thing around? This looks so ugly. Souleer has still not built a Spore in his 3rd base. What is he waiting on, Steadfast?
Oh man, he's made a lot of micro mistakes here, missing 2 very key transfuses. Now he should have enough right here. There is another energy for transfuse. Okay, there we go. It was a little late to the party, but only 1 Void Ray was attacking anyways, and it disengaged. But that actually came very close to spiraling out of control and being a dead 3rd base right there. That was incredibly close. If it wasn't for this creep tumor right here that's connecting towards the natural, I think those queens would not have gotten over in time to save their matriarch. And that would have been it for the 3rd base, potentially. So actually a lot closer than it looks. Ooh, more harassment coming down in the natural here.
these Void Rays are just not giving up, man. They're Rick Astley Void Rays here, just staying across the map. 4 more drones going down, 5 more drones going down. Man, I'm amazed that MaNa is still in this, but I gotta give it to him. With the amount of mistakes Souleer's making, he makes it seem as though he may be able to come back in this game. Honestly, I feel like Souleer needs to tech up, needs to get some army on the field and just push across. MaNa's got a few adepts. He's going for a glaive adept push again at the 9-minute mark, and Souleer does not have that much on the ground right now. Look at that units tab. 12 Zerglings and 9 Queens? Uh-oh.
Well, the Queens are going to be very, very good, and with rallying Zerglings, I think he'll be okay, but he needs those Queens in a good position. And right now, okay, there we go. They are making their way over towards that 3rd base. So you want them to kind of tank at the front and then have the Lings ready in the back. Oh, but he's got to be on point with his transfuses. Man, he's really making me worry right there.
Bit of mistargeting as well. The Adepts barely missing that last shot. They're going to go ahead and find themselves a cozy position in the natural here, driving back into the natural mineral line to deny some mining time. A couple more drones are going to go down. I love the focus fire on the spores, but we have that switch up into the main now. MaNa finishing that shade, but already a couple Queens here to deal with it. And it looks like these Adepts may get taken out, but again, just like we saw last game, pressure now also on the 3rd Steadfast.
Yeah, this is getting not quite out of hand because this has been a big commitment from MaNa, but 6 drones is not bad, and MaNa has been probing behind this off of 3 Nexus, so he's actually very nearly evened the worker count. This game, make no mistake, this game was very much over at the beginning after that Link Flood, but MaNa, he is now finding big damage at the 3rd once again, and this is incredible. This could be the comeback of the tournament if he can complete this.
Man, I love that MaNa is taking some extra shots on these Adepts to focus fire down Spore Crawlers. Now, normally I would be angry at a Protoss player if they did that. I'd be like, ah, come on, man. Focus on drones, get some Queens, but look at this. With the Spore Crawlers half dead, it allows these Void Rays to pop in and start to cause a little more pressure. The Queens in the 3rd rotating down south, trying to deal with it. I like the Spire going down for Souleer here in the main to try and create something, but already we see we see MaNa with a Forge and a Twilight Council. He's going into Charge Lot Archon, and if that happens, if he turns this game around, is it the best comeback in the world ever, Steadfast?
It is right up there with MVP versus, oh, what's the name of that Zerg player? It was in Wings of Liberty. He stayed on Roaches forever. MVP had like 0 SCVs off 3 command centers, and he was able to make the comeback happen. I want to talk about these Void Rays for a second, though. Look at their combined kill count. It is 88. 44 kills on one. The other 2 have 22, now 23 on one of them. We're going to see 3 Void Rays combined for 100 kills in this game.
You're kidding me. 45, 23, 26. Oh, man. This is insane.
94 kills so far.
Steadfast, I'll trust you to keep count on our Void Ray trio here and see how much damage they can do. If you look at the units lost tab, you'll actually see that the resources lost is actually significantly greater for Souleer now, which is to be expected. He expended a lot of Lings at the beginning of the game in exchange for a lot more of the worker units, so a lot more of the income of MaNa. Ooh, Zealot's going to catch these Zerglings transferring over, going to send him back home. I love that we see some charge lots getting mixed in here for MaNa, but it's time for him to get more than 1 Archon, more than 2 Archons onto the field, and I'd love to see him warping in a few more Templar to really bulk up this army just a little bit. Corruptors are here, but they're not going to be able to do too much as the Archons zone them away from the Warp Prism here.
Yeah, Corruptors were a really weird choice for me. I am so confused by that. Now, these Banelings do have speed. Nice. Oh, I love it. Look at those feedbacks on the Queens, taking out all of their energy. And now it's just Lings, Banes, and Queens versus Charge Lot Archon. And let me tell you, Archons do not give a hoot about Banelings in these low numbers.
I definitely don't. What is Souleer doing with these Corruptors? It's like he's sharking around trying to find that. Finally finds the Warp Prism. Goodness gracious. Took him long enough. That Warp Prism getting a couple more rounds of Warpins in. That will force the recall out of MaNa and push this attack back for now. MaNa getting 2 more drone kills, but really thinning out the amount of army supply that Souleer has on the map. But Souleer looks like he's going for a big counter push now.
Yeah, oh no, these Corruptors are gonna find the Void Rays. No, my dream of 100 kills. Oh, I think that was 46, 23, and 26. 46, 23, and 20. Is that right? I am not sure, but I think it was short by maybe 4 3 or 4 kills, I am not sure, but that just made me so sad.
I'm so sorry, Steadfast. Hopefully we can make it up to you with an amazing rest of the game. Only 4 Corruptors here, and again, Souleer with some really unusual choices with these Corruptors. Trying the Caustic Spray while there's already a couple Stalkers warping in underneath, and not quite enough. He is going to soften up its base a little bit, though, and MaNa will lose the 12 o'clock base for this Ravager pressure. A couple Banelings going on the building rather than any units, but finally gets pushed away. But a nice snipe there from Souleer, keeping MaNa on 3 bases. But hey, MaNa's still even on 66 workers.
Yeah, that was actually a very expensive attack from Souleer. If he had not gotten that Nexus, I think MaNa's in a fantastic position. Just barely was able to do so, and that Caustic Spray ended up being enough, a supplemental DPS to take it down. But that was very close to just being a huge overcommitment from Souleer. Souleer is going to drone up his 3rd a little bit. He hasn't taken, or 4th, I should say. He hasn't taken this high yield geyser yet, and mostly that's because he's floating 1,000 gas right now, and he doesn't actually have a fantastic mineral economy.
Yeah, the drone count has not been quite as high as he would have liked. I mean, it's 15 minutes in. Yeah, I mean, of course, this all comes, if you're just joining us from Hero Marine stream, this all comes off of the back of a crazy all in from Souleer. He did that 19 drone, Ling all in. MaNa was down to, was it 3 or 4 probes, I think, at the beginning of the game?
I think the lowest he got was 5, but it was 5 versus about 23 at that point.
I mean, just unbelievable comeback here from MaNa. If he can pull out the win, it'll be one of the greatest economic comebacks I've ever seen in a StarCraft game. Souleer pushing back into the 12 o'clock base now. Banelings again going off, but on those Archons, and as you said, the Archons don't care about Banelings, man. Not the most efficient use, and now there's a huge, bulky army from MaNa. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite have enough ground units, enough gateway units to drive this back, and I think the overwhelming army supply of Souleer is finally gonna take him down. Hokey smokes! What a game, Steadfast, between Souleer and MaNa.
That was absolutely insane. And the fact that MaNa was able to drag it back with that Void Ray harass, with just really, really good micro, and then at the end of the day, just barely, Souleer was able to get back into that game and take it down. What an incredible play. What an incredible play from MaNa, but good job from Souleer to not lose composure and still be able to take that game down.
I definitely did not have enough coffee this morning to deal with this sort of StarCraft all day long, Steadfast. I'm going to have to go Java up in one of our breaks because, man, this is our very first series of the day, and I tell you, Steadfast, at the beginning of the day, you and I were both saying kind of the same thing. We said, well, you know, it's the B stream. We're going to get a couple matches that are maybe a bit of a mismatch. MaNa expected to win this 2-0. I think we both made that call. And now Souleer really pulling it out with the cheese there. Maybe not the best execution on the back of the cheese, but, you know, hey, he pulled it off, and honestly, a win is a win. It's nice to see him finally getting a map win here in DreamHack EU. I believe that's his first map win of the entire tournament, I think.
Is it really? Wow, that is... I'm gonna double check that.
I'm running production today, so all my monitors are full of StarCraft stuff. Instead of, normally I've got the Liquipedia on one of my monitors checking it out.
You're correct about that, and that's a bit of a big blow to MaNa, to be honest. He's someone that I would expect to be like a favorite to go 1-2 in this group, but we talked about it yesterday, and you highlighted the importance of it. It is really important to not lose any map that you quote unquote shouldn't, you know, looking at the odds. If you're favored in a matchup, you really need to 2-0 that, and losing this map could come back to bite him in the later stages of this group.
Yeah, for those of you wondering maybe what Steadfast is talking about there, we, of course, the winners in the groups, there are groups of 8 players. The bottom 4 players in the group go home. They don't move on to the bracket stages. In the first and second place, they stay in the winners match. In the third and fourth place, they go to the lower bracket and fight their way through. And we make those decisions based first on match score, right? So whoever has the most match wins. But then the secondary determination, if we have 2 players tied up at 3 wins and 4 losses, for example, then we go to map score. So every single map matters immensely. And as we get to the end of this week, where we start figuring out where these groups are sort of going to settle out, every map matters insanely. And you're right, a map that you're expected to win, like this one for MaNa, You just can't afford to make that loss, man, especially when there are such strong players here in the group. Let's hop into our third game, Everdream LE. And we're back spawning. In the top right-hand side, in the blue, the Polish Protoss powerhouse from Team Liquid. His name is MaNa.
And his opponent coming back in that game number 2 with that cheeky Ling all-in, but still giving us a bit of an exciting match. It is the Blue Zerg player from Spain. Give it up for Souleer.
Tell you what, Steadfast, I'm gonna throw my camera on you for this game if you want to guide the good people through this series.
Sounds good to me. For now, MaNa, stick into that trademark early bit of harass there. And, well, he really knows what he's doing when it comes to this. He is quite a master of it.
Every single game, he's 3 for 3 now, and I wish I knew the results. I wish, I feel like this is when I wish StarCraft was a little more like baseball, where we had just every single result from every game ever played, and I could be like, you know, MaNa actually blocked this 14 out of 27 times here in the DreamHack Masters fall. But so far, 3 good blocks from him. And again, a really conservative opener from Souleer, at least. You know, last game he went all in, but he did start with that hatch gas pool, and that's one of the reasons MaNa was unprepared for it, is that he had the probe scout in, but didn't see anything unusual. So by the time the probe was dealt with by the queens, then Souleer was able to sort of change his build up and go for that big Ling all in, off the back of which he eventually won the game.
Yeah, the fact that MaNa made it a game at all from the position he was in is nothing short of amazing. That is truly incredible. Oh man, this drone getting real low on HP. MaNa looking for that. It's down to... Oof. Okay, he was trying to bait a drone pull right there. He is going to go back in for it, I think. Okay, no, with the Lings here. This probe's actually dead. It overstayed its welcome. MaNa getting a little too greedy right there.
You hate to see it. Poor Probius going down. I used to have a little Probius doll that I got as a gift at the GSL once. And every time a probe would die, I'd like give him a little hug. I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. It's not you. We got another Twilight Council opener for MaNa now. Remember, he went for a Glaive to Depth push in game number 1. And actually, a Glaive to Depth push, granted a little bit belatedly, in game number 2 as well. Do you expect to see that again from him here in game 3, Steadfast?
Oh, absolutely. It's easily the strongest build in the meta right now in PvZ. You know, Stargate is the safer build, quote unquote, but we even saw last game, he still took a lot of damage while going for that Stargate. We are going to be seeing, yeah, just 2 probes on each gas, and that does spell Glaive Adepts. He got so much done with it in game number 1. To be honest, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for it in game 2.
I mean, he had 5 probes, so
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and he still did go for it after that Stargate opener. Yeah,
I love it. Well, and again, we see the same mistake from Souleer here. Not only is he not scouting, if we check Souleer's vision, I don't believe he's seen anything in the main base of Liquid MaNa yet, has no idea what he's up against. He's seen a couple of Adepts coming across now, but 2 Adepts isn't, like, guaranteed to be a Glaive Adept all in. And again, he's going for that Baneling Nest as opposed to a Roach Warren. Again, this is a carbon copy so far of game number 1. 22 Lings on the way from Souleer. Oh my, that's a lot.
Yeah, it looks like he's the one getting aggressive, but the thing is, like, this is... Oh, okay, I actually talked about this as a response yesterday a little bit. I've seen Bly go for it. So when you think your opponent's going for Glaive Adepts, you go for a big Ling Bane counterattack, and then while the opponent is dealing with that back home, you try and crash Banelings in on top of the Glaive Adept army that's coming in here. He does have some Lings back home, but no Banelings currently. He's just going to be... Well, he doesn't have enough money. He's only going to be morphing in 1 right now. He needs 2 gases if he wanted to do that. He's only on 1, though. And, well, MaNa is going to cancel that Shade and will work in towards that 3rd base. Meanwhile, Natural Expansion. This is not enough Banelings to get through. There's a shield battery. And, well, as long as that gateway gets healed up, that is going to be no problem for MaNa. But it's not being healed. Oh, man, it's going to get broken through.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
bit of a counter mistake for MaNa there not clearing that gateway, but the Zealots should hold, or the Adepts rather, should hold the line there, and Souleer unfortunately has just lost a whole lot. The gateway being repowered, and now the problem is all on Souleer's side of the map. He's down to 11 drones already, Steadfast.
yeah, this is not happening. There's still a battery overcharge available. The gateway is going to get taken out, but MaNa, oh, this isn't quite a wall. Lings can slip on past, but he's down 31 workers right now. MaNa, he has got this one in the bag. He's going to kill the main hatchery.
With Adepts, my god. You know, Steadfast, I've seen a couple mistakes from Souleer here that we probably should point out to the viewers. Not only is he not defending back home, but he's got all these Lings that have access to the natural. I can't stress that enough. This is not a full wall right now by MaNa. Souleer is actively choosing to fight